My name is Blanc. I'm the goddess of Louis. Nice to meet you. Oh, sorry. I said that out of habit. You're the player, so you already know about me, don't you? Histoire gave me a brief explanation earlier. Anyway. What? Why are you staring at my face? It's just a little embarrassing. By the way, I thought I saw a bookshelf in here. Ah, there it is. What a relief. I'm glad you have one. I wasn't sure if that's what it was when I came through the gate. See, I really love books. I'm interested in all kinds of genres. However, lately, for reasons, I've been reading a light novel. Player, do you like reading books? Really? You mean it? That's great! I'd like it if we could recommend some books to each other. It's a lot of fun learning about what hobbies other people are into. I love how words can unlock my imagination. It's great how reading does that so easily. It's a little easier for me to read because I like doing that. Some people don't have as much fun, though. They find it tiring. Light novels are easier for people like that. There isn't a lot of exposition to wade through, and since it's mostly dialogue, it's fairly easy to read. A lot of them are illustrated, too. They're the perfect novels for beginners. Wouldn't you agree? I knew you would, player. I'm happy you can understand the light novel's appeal. My passionate rambling was worth it. You know, my favorite author has an interesting story. What's crazy is that person never intended to become an author. She was journaling all of her adventures. That's all she intended to do, but her writing skills improved with every entry. When her adventure diary was finally published, it made the bestseller list rather quickly. Other writers who began with journals or light novels usually evolve and write more literary works, bringing their secret worlds to life. The methods of expression among writers are as endless as the methods to interpret their writing. It's in the discussions and analysis that this theory is... Oh! The two of us just met, but here I am, talking your ears off about my little hobby. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go now. I just came here to say hello, but I got carried away. I'm honestly surprised. I'm not very good at conversation, and I hardly ever do this sort of thing. But I've been wanting to meet you. I just had a lot I wanted to talk to you about. Oh no, I'm gonna start rambling again. This was nice. I'm going to come back and visit. Is that okay? Well, thanks for listening today. See you. Oh, hello, player. What are you up to? Oh, I see. Organizing your bookshelf, huh? I'm curious. I'm sorry for asking, but do you mind if I take a look at your books? Oh, wow! Thanks a lot. You've got books I've never seen before. They're so interesting. But it might be a good idea to add some more to your collection. Hmm. Mm. Here's an idea. I can start bringing you some books from my room when I come to visit you. You can never have too many. I would like to put some of my favorites on your shelf. It would make me really happy if you ever got the chance to read through a few of them. I'd like for you to learn more about me as well. And if my favorite books are here, I feel like that would help me feel less nervous in your room. By the way, would it be okay if I read one of your books for a little bit? I've been curious about this one for a while now. Mm. Oh, I'm sorry. Once I open up a book, it's easy for me to get lost in it. But it's fascinating. I think I feel reassured. Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry. This light novel I was just reading. Even though I only read a little bit, the character felt so alive. Her feelings were so beautifully wrought. What lovely writing. This book. Huh. Does this have a sequel? Could you possibly get it for me? Or maybe I can go and buy them all and keep them here. Oh, could it be? I knew it. This book doesn't exist in game industry. If there's a sequel that exists, or if it ever comes out, I'd really appreciate it if you could buy it for me. And I'll be sure to keep a lookout for any books that I think you'd like to read. At this rate, we'll end up talking about books forever, so it's probably a good time for me to leave. Thanks so much for letting me read this. All right then, I'll see you soon. Hi there, I'm here again. Like I mentioned last time, here, I brought you some books from my room. They're all wonderful books, and I'd love for you to read them when you get a chance. I'm gonna put them on your bookshelf, okay? With all the books I brought, your bookshelves filled out quite nicely. It's amazing, no matter how many times I see it, when a bookshelf has been filled, so has my heart. Looking at my favorite things always calms me down. Before I came over here, I was with my sisters. They're younger, and they're twins. The one in blue is Rom. She's the quiet one. The one in pink is Ram. She's really energetic. They get mixed up all the time, but Ram is the older one of the two. I'm proud of them both, and they're so cute. Oh, I just realized, you must know about both of them by now. They can be a handful sometimes. If I take my eyes off of them for a second, they'll get into trouble. I'm busy all day, so I'm not always able to look after them. It's understandable that they'd get into mischief here and there, but I just don't have a lot of time to hang out with them. But besides that, I'm not the most outgoing individual in the world, so it's hard for me to take the initiative. So, even if they get into a little mischief, I almost welcome it, as long as they're doing something with me. But I will get angry if they end up drawing on any of my important documents. I'm not really great at leading people, but it brings me so much happiness to know Rom and Ram rely on me. Player, does it make you happy to know someone relies on you, even if you're not a leader? It's nice, isn't it? It helps when it's someone you know well. It encourages you to be a better person. I feel better knowing that you feel the same way I do. I'm glad. Oh, I apologize. Somehow this turned into me confiding in you. I don't have a lot of people I can talk to about this. I have Neptune and the other goddesses, but I don't know. They're more like rivals. Even though we spur each other on to be better fighters, I don't think we ever just talk about our feelings. Oh, wait. What in the world am I saying? I'm really sorry. I guess I'll head home for today. I feel like I just kept on talking, but I'm glad you were here to listen. Um, Thanks for spending so much time with me today. I appreciate you a lot. Oh, hello, player. After the last time I left, I was thinking about the way that I'd been acting around you. It wasn't my usual self. People usually tell me that I'm a little rough around the edges, so I guess I wanted to try being more polite is all. And I heard that you were a being who could interact with lots of dimensions, so I was nervous about the kind of person you'd be. But As I talked to you, I realized you're not that different from us. All of this to say, I don't think I should try and force being so polite. Because all I really want is to just become a closer friend to you. Player, I'm going to try and act more like myself. I want to be more comfortable around you, so I'd appreciate it if you would just act like yourself around me too. So, let's be friends. I know. I've been meaning to ask you, but the timing never works out. Player, can I register you to my Our Tomo collection? It's a game where you can register your friends as avatars and watch them interact with each other. It might sound kind of boring, but it's actually pretty fun. The game has a lot of elements, but the #1 selling point is how these artificial relationships can form all on their own. To give an example using my data, Neptunia VIIR, the comedian and the realist, have pretty much switched roles in-game. The usual scenario is, of course, Noir is really serious and naive, and Neptune just cracks a lot of jokes while helping people. Vert has formed a weird comedy duo with Uzume, and they practice their routines up on a roof. As for my avatar, she recently debuted as an idol, and she performs and sings while wearing a squid costume. I'm really terrible at performing in front of people, so watching it makes me feel pretty strange. Now that I've explained it, is it okay if I registered you as a resident too? Thank you. Okay then, I'll do it when I get home. I'll make your face look super realistic too. Anyway, today, I brought this card set with me, 100 Poems, Special Edition, although I think it's more commonly known as Karuta. It's a beautiful game. But the content of the poems might be a little different from the ones you have in your world. I think the rules might be the same, though. Just so you know, this isn't just any old card game, and it's much more than a simple memory game. It might not be in book form, but it's a proper collection of beautiful poetry. Poetry has a way of holding the emotions of its author in the scenes it portrays. By analyzing them, we can infer a deeper meaning that exists well beyond the words. Also, whether or not you're able to understand a poem makes all the difference as to whether you can memorize them easily or not. Let me read you my favorite one in this collection. For your precious sake, once my eager life itself was not dear to me. This poem is about a sacrificial kind of love. The speaker in it loves the person they're talking to very much, but I relate most to this part. But now it is my heart's desire that long, long years it may endure. It means, even though meeting was beautiful in itself, it isn't enough. They'd like to stay together for all eternity. What? What's with the face? If you make a good friend, or have a sister, it's just normal to want to cherish that relationship. Wait, are you trying to say this phrase doesn't suit me? Hmm. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not the type to make jokes like that. That was new for me. It's kind of strange. You know, when I'm with you, Um, well, I'm gonna go home now. You know, come to think of it, I never taught Ram and Ram 100 poems. I think I'll play with them using simple rules when I get back. See ya. Oh, hello. Um, I'm a little sleepy today. Um, is it strange to see me like this? You're staring an awful lot. Oh boy, it feels kind of weird. Oh, 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 you're so mean. I hate you. Oh, I lied. I don't hate you. The thing is, I've been so busy lately that I haven't been resting well. But I managed to finish everything I was working on. It's okay now. Oh, nothing happened back home in Louis. Everything is okay there. It's nothing you need to worry about, okay, player? Um, the work I was talking about was kind of personal, I guess. Maybe voluntary is a better word. But anyway, it's nothing a goddess like me can't handle. I'm fine. So, ugh, that was stupid. Sorry to worry you, player. I think I'm more exhausted than I realize. Is it okay with you if I sit down for a minute? Wow, it's so soft. Now I want to lay down. Is that okay? Thank you so much. Ah, whew. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Uh, I think it's time I go home for the day. I I think I'm getting a fever, and I really wouldn't want you to get sick just because of me. I'll I'll come back when I feel better. Goodbye. Hi, how are you? Uh, about last time. I'm sorry to worry you. As you can see, I'm not so tired today. I'm feeling much better. I bet you're wondering what's in the envelope, huh? I don't know if I should tell you. Well, just don't laugh at me, all right? Um, this is actually something I've been working on for a while. It's a light novel. Do you remember when I said I was really busy? Well, it's because I've been staying up late writing this. Well, Louis confers a Winter Forest Novelist Award a few times a year for new writers, and I've been wanting to submit. Of course, I've been chipping away at my story here and there for a while now. But the story in this setting slowly started to change. When I realized the deadline was nearing, I just couldn't sleep anymore. I would stay up all night long working on my story. But, uh, um, this might be a weird question for me to ask, but do you think I have what it takes to become a great writer? I think you have a good understanding of who I am now, so I want your honest opinion, player. Really? Hearing you say that gives me the confidence I need to keep writing. And I know it's tough. But even if the path is difficult, if you don't believe in yourself, you'll never be able to live the life you want for yourself. If I start to worry about what other people think of me or my work, well, I just can't think about that. It's irrelevant. What's important is that I do what makes me happy. I can't forget about that, even when it gets difficult. That sounds like something a protagonist would say, doesn't it? So, I have a little request for you. I want to let this story breathe for a little bit. If it's okay with you, I'll leave the envelope here for now. If I take it home, I know I'm going to want to tweak some minor details. I feel like I shouldn't look at it for a few days because it feels good right now. I am hoping that the next time I look at it, I can add some magic to it. I feel like taking a break from the writing will give me some good ideas for it. Oh, please, don't mention this to Neptune or the others. I really, really don't want them to know about this. Please don't tell them. I guess it's time to go. I'll just leave it right here. And keep it a secret, okay? See ya. Well, hello. So, when I went home last time, I tried a lot of things to get some new ideas going. I tried spending some time in nature, tried fighting monsters nonstop, played in the snow with Rom and Ram. I even tried making different kinds of sweets. Thanks to that, I have some good ideas now. Someone once said that nothing ever becomes real until it is experienced. That's true, isn't it? So, here, these sweets I made. Well, they're as real as it gets. It's a simple cookie called boule de neige. It's French for snowball. I don't know if I made them right, but I'd like you to try one, if you don't mind. Anyway, I wanted to give you a little update on where I'm at with my novel. It's definitely a work in progress. I've decided on the world and characters, but I'm having some trouble with the story. I've got a bit of an idea for it, but I can't seem to get it down. I know. Can I run it by you? I think this will really help. Sorry to put you on the spot like this. I'll tell you what I've been thinking about so far. The legendary dragon knight Orlando was summoned by the deity Overoniana, overseer of the divine and demon realms. His quest is to save both realms. It's part high fantasy, part action, and during his travels, he fights alongside other legendary warriors, also summoned by Overoniana. I'm still thinking of what kind of crisis the realms are in, but the first friend Orlando makes is Olivier of the Divine Realm. She's the daughter of King VIIR and is an excellent magic user. She's righteous and straightforward, but the fact that she can't be honest with herself is detrimental at times. There's someone close to me that's quite similar. The second friend they encounter is named Noma. She resides in the demon realm, but has no special powers per se. On the other hand, she's highly intelligent and gives Orlando a lot of support. She's different from Olivier in that she's much more calm. She gets jealous easily, however, and she can act a little cold sometimes. Noma is also the daughter of the Demon King, but since she has no powers, she was thrown out of the castle by her father, so she wouldn't be caught up in all of the drama or struggles of deciding an heir. The third person is Sebastian. You might have guessed from the name, but he's a butler. Because the Demon King is a bit of a helicopter parent, he sent Sebastian as both a butler and a bodyguard. He's highly loyal to the Demon King and to Noma. He's a light-hearted person, but he's also very sharp and does a lot of things in the shadows. Talking about this out loud is making me think. I feel like the thing I want to focus on most is... Could it be the characters? The plot is full of holes, but I find the characters really interesting. In my mind, they aren't bound to this story. They have their own free will and act accordingly. I just want to see what they end up doing. Instead of forcing a plot onto them, maybe I should just let their personalities dictate where the story goes. Do you think that's a good idea? We have similar tastes, don't we? I feel more convinced now. It'll be a long and winding road to becoming a famous author if I keep this up. I'll start working on these problem areas as soon as I get home. I have new ideas, too. I think I'm gonna go home right away and start working. You know, I wasn't really sure if I should come see you today or not, but I'm glad I did. I feel like you got me out of the rut that I was in, too. I'd like to thank you, so thanks. See ya. Oh. Hi there, player. Wait, why are you staring at me like that? I'm just kidding. You can always see right through me, can't you, player? I have been laboring over my manuscript since the last time I was here, but it's just not working out. No matter how many different ways I think about it, it's not going where I want it to go. I've been feeling depressed. Sometimes I hear people say that you shouldn't let your head get in the way of what you're thinking. But then, what am I supposed to think with? Hey! What gives? What are you looking at? My heart? Oh, you're saying I should feel instead of think. I have read so many books. I couldn't even tell you how many I've read in my lifetime. And yet, I can't even manage to write one good story. I don't know. Maybe my imagination is just being stubborn. I'm pretty bad at writing. Depictions of romance and love, things like that. I've read a lot of romance novels, but when I try writing scenes like that, I just can't get them right. It feels unnatural. Besides, I'm not even sure of what to write about. By the way, player, is there someone in your life that you like? Someone who's special to you? Oh, really? I just assumed. What? Oh, it's nothing. I might be working on writing a novel, but reading a novel and writing one are so very different. Do you remember what I said about doing what makes you happy, even if it gets difficult? I'm not so sure about that anymore. Anyone can write a book, but it takes a real genius to move the world with their pen. I'm not sure I'm that kind of a writer. And right now, I can't even manage to get my book in a bookstore, let alone change the world with my writing. I need to open up my world to new experiences, if I want anything to change. Maybe, for starters, I can try finding a partner. I'm just kidding. I'm a goddess who rules a nation. It would be a disaster if someone found out. For now, I can research online. No, that's no good. I might get biased knowledge planted in my mind. Looks like time's up. Please, don't worry. I'm just stressed. And you can't mention a single word of this to Neptune, or to anybody else. I'll be back soon. See you then. It is finally finished. I finally sent in my manuscript for that novelist award I was telling you about before. But, unfortunately, I think I've reached my limit. I hope this is all right. I feel like I just might fall asleep sitting here. I should keep talking so I stay awake. Let's see. Oh, I was having so much trouble depicting the love between the main characters. Saving the heroine wasn't a good enough motivation for the adventure he was on. I don't know if you remember, but the heroine that Orlando first encounters actually turns out to be the spirit deity known as Overoniana. She was the one who summoned him. Which means, by saving the world per Overoniana's request, he will be saving the heroine at the same time. After the last time I left, I went home and decided to do some research on friendships and romance, but nothing I found online made sense. While I was thinking over what I could possibly do, you actually came to mind. I actually used you as a model for my heroine. Wasn't until I met you that I felt this feeling. The feeling of having fun, just being together, and how I come to visit with you in this room so often now. But for all we know, the gate might not be here tomorrow. There's a chance that I might not see you again. Or, what if you were in trouble? I would want to help you. And it's with all of those feelings in mind that I was able to progress in writing my story. It suddenly became so effortless. It would have been nice if you could have looked at it, but the deadline was getting close, and I was so busy that I forgot to bring it by. But I have a lot of confidence in it. We just have to wait for the results. By the way, I'm actually pretty confident in the way I wrote those romance sequences between the protagonist and the heroine. My past self might actually be pretty shocked to hear such a thing. But, it's a little strange. I don't really feel like I need to see the results regarding the award right now. I think just finishing the novel was enough for me. I really want you to read it, but I also feel like I'd be very embarrassed if you actually did. I've talked about it a lot, so you must be curious. I knew you would be, but when you look at me like that, it's too embarrassing. It's well, like you would be reading all of my thoughts after all. Well, anyway, that's all that I have to update you on. Sorry, I think I'm nodding off a little bit. Oh, don't worry, I won't have any issues getting back. Besides, today, my favorite book comes out. It's really popular in my nation. So, I want to pick it up on my way home before it sells out. Hey, don't look at me like that. Oh, okay, I understand. I guess I'll hang out here until I feel a little more awake. Then I'll head home. You just see everything, don't you? Thank you. Just a little rest. That's it. Hey, listen up, player! My novel won a special award! You know, I never could have done this on my own. Or, I mean, it's thanks to you that I was able to get this. It would make me so happy to celebrate together. Well, if you're happy, then I am too. Do you remember how, the other day, I said that I didn't really care to see the results of the award right away? I've been thinking about that. It wasn't just because I felt a sense of accomplishment for finishing my novel or anything like that. To be honest, I think I was afraid. I couldn't bear the thought of someone rejecting the ideas that I had come up with during the time I spent with you. I felt like if my novel wasn't selected, then these memories I've made with you would feel tarnished. When I realized that, all of a sudden, I didn't care about the results anymore. I couldn't bring myself to look when the announcement came. But I told myself, even if I didn't win the award, the time I spent with you is still special. Nothing would change what it means to me. With that in mind, I didn't care what happened. Well, in the end, I did actually win an award, so maybe it's easy for me to say these sorts of things. Also, guess what? I'm finally getting an editor to help me out. I've even been approached about a publishing deal. Isn't that great? So, when my book comes out, I want you to accept the very first signed copy, if you would. My biggest dream is to sign a book I published right in front of the people that are most important to me. I want you to be the first one. I mean it. Can you believe someone asked me to write a sequel already? I've got nothing to lose, so I'm gonna do it. I already have a few ideas for the sequel, but to be honest, I'm not sure if I'll be able to deliver. But if I write while spending time with you, I think I'll be able to come up with another great story. So, if I run into trouble when I'm writing, do you think that maybe I can come over to your place again? Thank you. I hope that the two of us, that we'll always be able to come together. Claire.